Alright, so we're going to go ahead and harvest some gold. I think the reason is because I want to make some more golden lassos and we can try to find some more YouTubers. So we can put them in the chest, like for example Bombi, so we can help them and we can maybe bring back another popular MMO. We might be able to do that. Or probably another gen. I do apologize for my allergies because I have pollinitis, which it's like seasonal allergies. I already took a pill of citizine and it kind of works, but I'm not sure how effective it is. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is make fine wire. I think we got to use a screwdriver. And to tell you, it's been a very long time that I have returned back to GregTech New Horizons because I have been working with other mods recently or been doing showcases, and I have showcased a lot of mods, and I'm going to tell you there is a lot of mods on the internet. And polyethylene, I do apologize for my long absence, but I had to handle with life and many other factors. But luckily for me, I can at least start something that matters, which is getting some gold and just capture some YouTubers and bring them back. But I think my goal is to specifically look for popular MMO and gen so I can bring them back. Because I just want to bring them back. So let me just type lasso. So the lasso is made with the assembler ender pearl. Again, I do apologize for my allergies, but this is part of the experience when it comes down to allergy season. You just can't ignore it. You have to deal with it. Okay, so the turbine is using some of its energy. I think as long as we have the gas turbine, that's good. Alright. I could probably make some more lassos. Alright, so I think this was going to be for popular MMO, Gen, Dan TDM. Unless I want to pick up Troyaris and Grim. I might get some more pearls. Because I may have to go out and venture to those locations with my hang glider. Because we're definitely going to be going on an adventure or a hike to meet up with these guys again. And I'm not sure if I want to pick up its Jerry and Harry as well. Because maybe I could pick them up too while on the way. I'm just going to say, it's just going to be a field trip for me. Since I do need to mentally get back into GregTech. Because this is a long project, and 15 years is a long time. And I have been playing on the CubeCraft server with some other players. And I did share that I'm working on a project which is for GregTech New Horizons, but one of them thinks that I'm trying to like beat the game, like beat it really fast, when that wasn't really my intention. My intention was to basically play this for a very long time and just to see the results, but to mostly to study myself and my consciousness, because sometimes the human mind is interesting when it comes down to doing something for prolong um prolong prolong of time. I just find it fascinating that I actually behave this way, which I can learn more about myself and I can find like what makes me click, what makes me like what sets my mood whenever I do these things. Okay. I think the gas turbine is a lot more effective when it comes down to just producing a lot of material or a lot of steam. Makes me want to make some more gas turbines. So this is about, this is 6 rows. If we count, that's a total of 12 lassos. So I will have to be mindful of what people I will be able to bring back with me, or um what NPCs that I can have in my observatory. So I think what I'm gonna do first is go out and meet up with the guys. Make sure there's no creepers or anything out here that's going to destroy my lab. So we have, so I will have to open up the journey map and turn on, okay, I can turn on my ores, and I'm going to turn on my waypoints, and I'm just going to turn them on, turn on Jerry Harry, Dan TDM. There we go. So I will have to go all the way over there to meet up with Dan, and I will also pick up Grim and all those. But I think the real goal is to find Pat and Jen, similar to that structure over there, their little fighting dungeon. Because I know Bombi is all alone, and I know he's alone. So I would try to get him back his parents, but I'm not sure if there's like another Bombi over there, because that's like borrowing another Bombi. But I wonder what it's like to slay Bombi though. It's quite curious. But I mean, I'd be quite genuinely curious if I do that. I'm not sure if he's going to like blow up like a regular creeper, or something like that. So it's quite unpredictable to me on how some of the NPCs might operate. So we just glide all the way across the chunks. And sometimes the hang glider does produce enough wind for me to go upwards, which is like flight, like an interesting flight. Like you can see, like we're like going up and then we're slightly going down. Kind of cool. So let me just make it, see if we can try to make it past these trees. I know. I mean, I could use shaders, but I guess shaders might be useful for like I guess for like certain thumbnails. Okay, so we have Cody Maverick. I know those guys are still around my location, but I think I might not pick up those kind, but I'll definitely pick up Dan, Grim, and Triaris. Not sure if that's how you say his name, because I know he said it the way he says it, but you guys might say I said it correctly or incorrectly. I do tend to butcher the names very harshly because I just want to sound like I know that I'm saying the name correctly, but people kind of process my words differently based on the mental states or how my vocal cords try to produce the sound of that particular word or name. It's kind of like a human error, but when you understand that some people have little quirks when they say words, then you understand. And I think Stampy Longnose is also out here too. So I might be able to capture him in the moment. So, alright. So I walk over, and who is this? So we only have Gemma. I don't know who Gemma is, but I'm definitely going to collect Dan. And since Dan has a lot of iron and see, Dr. Triaris, I am going to capture these guys. And let me see if I can add like, oh, you can also give them tools and armor too. So let me see if I can capture you. Okay, so we have Triaris. And where are you, Dan? I want to preserve Dan. I'm pretty sure he has like a lot of stuff, but once I move him over, it'd be great. Okay, now you're captured, Dan. And where's Grim? Where did Grim go? Grim, where are you? There you are. Because you still need to be with Dan. I'm pretty sure Dan wouldn't mind being in a bigger laboratory than this. I might be able to let him walk around in certain areas, but you can actually see like there's like a lot of iron here. He has his little computer system. Yeah. It's a lot of block of iron, but I don't know if it feels like I want to take it all since I'm kind of relocating him, but since this is going to be a vacant lab and I can already make some of these things, I think it's rightfully so to just take it. I might take like the coal at least just to make some coal coke and maybe put it in the coke ovens in the nether so we can get some stronger version of coal coke. But there's a lot of iron, but it's compressed, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to take compressed iron. Let me just take the redstone lamps. And I know it also gets dark out here too, so I gotta be mindful of that. I'll take the iron door. But this is quite nostalgic though. Like he's pretty much protected in this area, but I still don't trust the dangers out here. Like the chicken, he knows it's dangerous out here. So let me just lay down my sleeping bag and be near a nice comfortable light source. Alright. So now that we have Dan TDM, Grim, and Triaris, I can remove the waypoint because, again, I may not think about taking the iron or anything since I know some players or some people might just find it unfair. But I only took like some coal. I guess like some things that's fair around here. Avoid some of those dire wolves. So I think what we're going to go ahead and do is try to look for like another creator out here or another person that I may be familiar with. I wish I could try to preserve all of them, but I can only preserve whatever I could. So let's see if we're going to come across some other people. Also, I do want to share my experiences when I was looking in the planets in the sky. I saw Mercury for the first time in my life, and I also saw Saturn for the first time in my life. So when I was looking at Mercury, it was very faint. It was like right next to either Jupiter or Venus, but it was like very small, like a very small, distant world. It's mostly deserted and hot, but it's a real tangible place. But when I Okay, what's up with all these fur saplings? But when we come across, or when I let me try to remember what I was trying to say. I know I saw Mercury with Venus and Jupiter, and it was humbling since you get to see Mercury, since Mercury always hides during the daytime. Not daytime. It always hides during the twilight, or whenever the sun sets. It's kind of like that one planet that just hugs close to the sun, despite of it being hidden and everything else like that. I mean, I know most people probably are like, I never seen um, Mercury before, but when you see Mercury, it's quite small. It doesn't have a lot of reflected light. It's I would say it's less reflective than Venus. Like when you look at Venus, you can actually tell. But for Mercury, it's quite dim. Okay, so who lives here? Oh, Mr. Bumbo? Okay. I will collect you, Mr. Mumble, since you might teach me some redstone. So we collected Mumble, and he has a lot of interesting things in here. I might just only collect things that's applicable. I'll say like look at all this redstone. I'm just gonna take diamonds since I'm using it for fuel. For the boilers, especially. But when I looked at those planets, it was pretty. Like, you just can't unsee it. It's like, once you see it, it's locked into your memory. And that was part of the experience. And it was a very interesting experience. Okay, so there's some little chests in here. I'm not sure if like one of these areas have like TNT and it might kill me or something, but it would be part of the experience though. Alright, so I let the song die down a little bit so I can tell you a little more about Saturn. Since I would say Saturn is going to be slightly an exciting thing to share, but also quite the more saddening and depressing feeling too. Like, when you look at the planets in the sky, it makes you wonder, are they real places? Most people might say they are real places, but they don't understand what I mean by that type of real. It's like, it's a different type of real. It's like, I'm going to put it in words. It's like you look at Saturn for the very first time, you pull out your cheap telescope that probably cost you $40 or $80, depending on how much it costs or if you still have it somewhere in your room. You pull it out, you adjust the telescope, change the magnification, add Barlows, add whatever you could just to increase the magnification of the planet, just to try to identify it. You think it's going to be like a regular sphere in the sky. You look closer, it's a very distant planet. It's a sphere, but you can also see its rings. You may not see the different distinction layers of rings, but you see its prominent rings. You just see the rings. And when you see the rings, your brain highlights it as it's real. And then once you look at the planet, it's like it actually reached to your eyes, and your eye immediately register it as it's a real place. So I was just excited to see the planet. And who's that? I'm not sure what the player is or what that NPC is. I'm not sure if it's like something that I'm familiar with. Okay, I think they died. Rest in peace. But and okay, that's the Sky Island. But let me continue. Um, when you look at the when you look at Saturn, it's like a sense of awe. It's like you know it's real, and then you just feel that sadness because it's all alone in the abyss. I mean, it has 82 moons to keep it company, but it's still quite sad just to see Saturn just all the way out there. But it's a different feeling. Like, it feels like I'm trying to explain it in words, but some people might look at it as like it's just words that's I'm just saying. But this is coming out of my consciousness or out of my own soul as a human. When you look at Saturn and just try to process the moment, you know that we do live, in fact, in a very small world. Like, it may look large on the surface, but we're very small. We're so small. We're very small, smaller than a grain of salt, very small than a piece of dust, very small, like microscopically small. So when I view our own problems, our own disagreements, everything, it's just so small. Like it's like our problems are really nothing, but they're not that. It's not that they're insignificant. It's just it makes us value our existence more. But when I just kept looking at Saturn and just kept staring at it and just keep flipping back in my mind because that scene or that moment kept playing over and over in my head. Like the picture of Saturn's rings just keeps playing. And then I just I just cried. I was tearing, but I didn't like sob loud, but I was just crying because we do live in a small world. We have to deal with the social pressures. We got to deal with the performance. We have to deal with the confusion. You got to deal with deal with the disappointments. You got to deal with all of it. And I'm also around people that I've been familiar with, and all I know is Earth, and it feels like we're trapped. Like we're literally on a small planet with small problems, and it feels like we're the only ones that has to deal with it, or we're trapped with ourselves. And then once you know that, it's a humbling feeling. It just hits. Some people might say it wouldn't make them cry, but once you know, like the feeling, it's really hard to just unsee it. Like right now, I can definitely see Saturn play in my head again, just looking at the ring of how alone it was. It's literally a gas giant millions of miles away or kilometers away, whatever people use for metrics. It's far away. It's so far away, but it's a real place. It's made out of ice, rock, and dust, and it reached right back into my eyes. Simulations and textbooks, I can now say it's a real tangible place. All the planets up there are real. And when you look in the spaces around them, it's vast and it's empty. And I think that's what made me sad because it's just lonely up there. Like it's nothing but a vacuum of space. And we should be appreciating with our own existence as humans. Cherish life to the fullest. Okay, so we have Stampy Lognose. So I'm gonna pick you up, man, so we can take you. And we also have Squishy. I don't know who you are, but we picked up Stampy Longnose. I don't know, but since you're fine where you are, I'm just going to keep you there. So we have Stampy Longnose, and I have to look for Poplar Momo and Jen if I could. But I do have the feeling that I might want to look at Saturn again just to lock in the moment one more time. But Saturn is a very beautiful and very majestic planet out there. I mean, Jupiter is pretty, but Saturn is a whole different psychological shifter. You just, it's really hard to unsee it. And did I just fall down the hole? It's just so hard to unsee it. When you know something is real, it's real. And I think there's Dan TDM again, but we already caught the other one, so I think this one is still living out in the nice lavender fields. I'm just going to leave that one alone. And I'm going to pick up It's Jerry and Harry, and then I'm going to see if I can try to look for Pat and Jen somewhere. That area is very lush up there. I could use the piston boots, but I probably just want to feel the moment of just, I guess, climbing up the blocks or the structure or this mountain. And look how far we up. It's like you can actually see the clouds. Like we're so high up. It's like we have altitude. All right, so we're going to use our hang glider and we're going to glide over to It's Jerry and Harry's place. Okay, there is an island over here or structure. I'm going to check who lives here. But I really do want to see if Pat and Jen is anywhere nearby. So who's this? Mr. Craner? Who is Mr. Craner? Okay, there's a lot of torches up here. Let me get the lasso. I'm not sure who you are, but I'm just going to collect you because I think you might be iconic in a sense. I'll say there's a few people that I may be familiar with, but I don't really watch Lao creators too much because they're just too performative to me. Like, sometimes it's just hard for them to be themselves and all they're just doing is something just to chase the metrics on the internet, mostly for optimization, fake hype, and everything else. But I know they're human in the end of the day. They still have lives to live. They still do whatever they can just to be relevant. I feel them. Like me, I have already accepted that I'm just a person behind the monitor. I love doing science. I love learning new things. But some people just have different objectives other than just trying to learn. And you can actually see that I did like destroy or did remove all those bricks. So the house is quite exposed. And sorry if I keep sniffing too often, because this is what pollinitis does to people. Alright, so we're gonna get It's Jerry and Harry. I remember I played on their server, and their server is still running currently, but I really wish I could try to get players to play on that server again, unless I really want to like, how am I gonna say it? I mean, I could probably get people to play it again, but some people may not know the history of the server. It's kind of sad because you have some people that you may know and they moved on to play different games. They moved on in life. They have families, everything else, while I'm still playing the game as if I'm still back in my own past, but just reliving it every single day. Like, this game is still fun, but I just don't really tend to the modern stuff too much, because when you try to stay and do and play with modern things, it's clean and it's very technical. Like I mean, GregTech is like this, but at least it gives me something, like it just gives me that different type of feeling. Like, it's not too modern. It's like not too modern. Like, you could still see like some of the inconsistencies with like the block contrasts and such, but I don't know how I'm going to explain it in my own words. I think it's just the feeling and the texture of it. Like, I can feel the difference, while most people just look at it as it's about optimizing A and B, while I'm just not here for optimization. I'm just here for the experience of the game, or just the experience in the immersion of it. Man, my nose is running. This is what happens when you take Citizen and it doesn't work. Sometimes Benadryl is probably like the only thing that's effective, but Benadryl puts you to sleep. And we got little railroad setups. What's this? The rolling machine. Okay. Okay, so there is a rolling machine. I don't know if I want to take the rolling machine. There's a steam engine. I'm gonna see something. So if we have the steam engine, how you make this? Okay. I don't know if I want to. I'm really trying to see if it's worth taking. Then we have this rolling machine. Let me see here. Okay, iron gear, piston, sturdy casing, sturdy casing. Okay, I think we might be able to take a few things around here, or a few stuff. I guess just to make it a little bit easier. Alright. Are you a good or a bad villager? Okay, apothecary. Alright. So I'm trying to see like what these villagers have. And I know these villagers, they have trades, but they're not like interesting trades that we would see in modern Minecraft. We'll eat some potatoes. Alright. I'm really trying to see how we're going to get Poplar Rose and Jen. Because it seems like we got to go very far out to even find them. Like, just a structure. I wish I had tissues nearby, but I don't have any, unless I may have to like walk a few more places and then maybe try to fly somewhere and then maybe find them and then blow my nose. because you can tell that my nose is quite stuffy. And I know my mother keeps telling me to stop snorting it in because I'm actually making it worse because I'm pulling the pollen right deeper into my nostril, and it's probably just making it worse. But I just have to see what I can do. And I know we only have like two. Like, I'm really going to save my other two lassos for Pat and Jen, while the other two could be for Cody Maverick. But again, I have to see like where these guys are located. So what we have over here. Okay, I don't know who they are. Those are probably creators or people from back in the day, and I don't know them too well. But it does feel like the Minecraft community is very huge. So that's why I don't think I remember or even recall most of the creators, because some of them were known back in the day, but they kind of just got lost to time, or they moved on to other things, or they just, quit. Kind of sad, because it shows more that the Minecraft community is a lot larger too, even back in the golden eras. But now today, there's just a lot of us out here. You get to see like like Preston plays and Preston plays. Um, I really don't know too many modern creators other than Mr. Beast and Preston plays. Um, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Hmm. I know Sunday is one of them, but I think I've barely watched Sunday as well. But I mean, I think I might have an idea to check out his, um, maybe to check out his showcases to probably see if I can get any ideas, and I might go back to my laboratory to pick those guys up to see like where they're located. Then I gotta look for Panjin. Okay, who lives in this ice place full of snow? I don't know who you are, but you live all alone in a snow cave. Huh. I may have to check the recording just to see who this person is, because they live in a genuine snow area. But I'm not sure this is based off of Superman. He lives in that ice mountain. But getting back to my thought with Sunday, it makes me want to check out Sunday's mod showcases back in the day of how he used to showcase mods. Like, he used to be doing those, and he showed many. But I might just pull out whatever I could and then just learn them and then study them a bit and find the absurdity in them and just be entertained by the amusement of how it was used to code. Because I'm just going to tell you, old mods are very interesting. Like, GregTech is interesting. GregTech New Horizons has some old mods in here too, but I'll say the current community kind of already is familiar with the mods, and if I ever try to do a showcase on them, they're just going to worry about the technicals, and then I'm just going to say they're just going to look at it in a technical lens, or utility wise, versus just feeling the feel of what the game used to be. It was mostly about fun. But when you have people that you have critical thinkers, and then you have people that want noise every second, it's like you get very diverse groups of people. Like me, I just want to cherish the history of Minecraft, because this game has changed a lot. Some people might say it didn't, or it's nothing wrong with it, because some might came from an era where they mostly played a lot of they probably play like a lot of single player, or they're just new to the game. It's all part of the experience, and that also did that. And what does this say? Tubuscus. So what's a tubuscus? Interesting. I never heard about a tubuscus. I'm not sure if that's like a is he like some sort of reference? Tubuscus. Let me just take Tubuscus then. Okay, so he has a lot of stuff in here. Lots and lots of stuff. Even carrot on a stick. I mean, I don't know why you have carrot on a stick, but he has a very big place. And I'm just going to explore it a little bit just for the sake of my own curiosity. It's like a very big T with a few ladders here and there, but I'm not sure if like the higher parts have, like rewards. So let me see. Okay, so I'll say it's pretty much just random stuff with a few beds and stuff in here. I'm not sure if I want to do a showcase on the YouTuber mod, since it's going to bring back memories, but also at the same time, it's going to bring back some controversial memories as well, because some creators probably went through different things in their lifetime or drama they got involved in. Not much of a person that gets involved in drama, because drama doesn't end well. Drama is all about A, B, C, and then things happen, and then you get stressed, and then it just leads to like mental health issues, honestly. Like that's why I don't really follow drama channels too much. I mean, I can watch for self-awareness purposes, but sometimes they try to say it's self-awareness and then it just gets twisted to just pure noise and performance for entertainment. Like that's kind of like what I'm saying. And I still haven't seen another version of Pat and Jen anywhere, because since I still have the lassos, I really want to see if I can try to find them one more time, or even in these locations, because I know it's possible, but I'm not sure how far I need to travel to find them. What's going on here? Oh, a web cave spider. All I gotta do is look for a very strange dungeon thing. Kind of getting stuck with my own words for a moment, because I am a little bit exhausted because I took that citazine, which is an algae pill. If I had Benadryl, I would definitely be drowsy, and I would have to try to pivot the video or the playthrough as like I gotta do something else. Because this is the reality. I have to look for a few more iconic YouTubers, or just people that I'm mostly familiar with, in which it will make me happy. Right now, so I'm just eating whatever I can get my hands on. Kiwi, melon, pineapple, eat the peas. I'm really just eating whatever that's in front of me. Let's keep walking. Place down another sleeping bag. Once I find Pat and Jen, then I'm just going to teleport all the way back to the laboratory. Because we have definitely went all the way back there. But if I go by foot, that would definitely be a hike. Because look at that. We're like so far away. I mean, even taking the horse is not going to be efficient since the horse still got to go through all this rugged terrain and unpredictable chunk loading. Yeah, I haven't even equipped my piston boots at all. Okay, so that's the tiny cactus. They do damage. I think faster damage than a regular cactus. That's a hobgoblin. Another Toboscus building. I think Toboscus is actually trying to spread his name everywhere if he could. But what I'm really looking for is Pat and Jen. Trying to see where are they at. And then I have to go get some gold. And then do that. Who's this? I don't know who they are, but disable that. I guess they're like other creators again. I just know that they all exist. They made content before and then they just vanished off the internet to probably handle with real life situations or drama. So who lives here? Okay. Cactus fruit. Oh, it's another dungeon. Sagario cactus. Does this prick us? Yeah. Yeah, it pricks us. Grows like a tree. Gives fruit after rainstorm. So it grows like a tree. I think I'll try that specimen. Is this a dungeon or is this a place? That's a dungeon. And we also have Dan TDM once again over here. Dan is really expanding his laboratory. Kind of like Tobuscus. Or Tobuscus. He's still running his experiments. Oh, too bad you can't make him sit down. So, Dan is doing his thing. It's a very primitive laboratory, but it gives off a feeling of familiarity. So how far are we from our point? So we are... So home is 4,088 meters. So I would say I might continue on another 1,000 meters. I know in the modern times of the internet, most people would try to edit this completely to make it fast to like 20 or 30 minutes. But I reject this idea because do you know why? Content of today is already moving way too fast and people can't process anything. That's why everybody's attention spans are shortening because they're making the content very easy to digest, but the problem is it just feels too much like people just try too hard just to try to hijack your attention. Or basically, if I'm trying to frame it, it's like they made it where it's Harry. Oh, it's Harry. It's Jerry and Harry. Okay. Then we have Ponich potato. Oh, it's actually made out of actual potato. Interesting. But the reason why I reject the idea of just editing these days, or even on my main channel when I do my mod showcases, because I want to show my genuine curiosity, my genuine excitement. Everything is just genuine about it. Because what you see today, everybody I would say most people just, I'm not even sure it's everybody, but I would say most people, they're just performing a lot, which I do find that as an issue because if if you perform so much, it's really hard to find anything relatable with the person. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. And I know who lives here. It's Exploding TNT. I will collect you. There you go. The only problem is we don't have pink sheep around here. I'm not sure if I open these chests will this place explode. But luckily there's no trap chests in sight, because if there was, then this place would have been exploded or went completely in like seconds. I'm trying to find anywhere that looks like some sort of area for Pat and Jen to be resting at. Because there is like a little sphere or a hole over here, but that's all I need. Just a few more creators, then I'm cool. Okay, we got Mumbo again. All we just need is Pat and Jen. Then I can go right back into the lab and then get the gold and then try to maximize the gold and then be done. Because I think what I'm going to do, though, is just take it easy when it comes down to these videos or these playthroughs. Because it's going to be a tiny process anyway, and it's all part of the experience. So I can only be mindful about it. We have Ryathan, Sips, and Livid Coffee. Interesting. I don't know who they are, but I may have to look in the recordings just to see like who they are back in the day. I'm not sure if they have like a channel name or if they pivot, because sometimes most of these creators just fade off the internet because they might be known to like one thing and then that's it. Sad reality. I know my pollinitis is kind of just reaching the fourth wall multiple times. But it's part of the human experience to witness symptoms. Mm. Ugh. Ugh. I don't know who these guys are. Gold Solace. I think I heard about Gold Solace. I think he's like one of the Sky does Minecraft crew or Sky Army. But I'm pretty sure when people start seeing me use the YouTubers mod in GregTech New Horizons, I'm pretty sure the technical players would probably be like, remove the mod, it's not needed, you're breaking the game, you're not playing it, by the rule or something. I wouldn't be too bothered by it because I'm playing it based on how it feels to me, because I'm playing in total isolation and I do need some sort of stimulation or some sort of reference or anchor when it comes down to playing alone in these environments. I could play on a multiplayer server, but I rather just play alone for the independent experience. And look at this. This whole snow biome looks very intriguing. Like the mountain just looks highly like rendered in a sense. Is that a good bunny or is that a bad bunny? Hope that's not like a killer bunny. But look at this. I think we found it. Yeah, we found where Pat and Jen live. So these guys live in a cold biome all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and get Pat and Jen now. And that will also mean Bombi over here. We're probably all alone. So let me just swoop in here. Oh no, so it's not. So where's Popular Memo and Jen? This is literally one of the locations they be hiding out at. If it just get replaced by Super Cat, that's crazy. Where's Pat and Jen? Sheep and Enderman. Scam. Usually they live in something like this. Like this is like one of the locations they live in. They really got my hopes up, didn't they? So I gotta probably fly across there. Like I really thought that was gonna be where Pat and Jen is, but nope. It's a totally different player unless they probably do something similar like that. Wait, are foxes just jumping and just killing bunnies? Oh yeah, they are attacking bunnies. They're doing the whole dive and everything. That's sad. But it's all part of the experience. You can't stop nature. Nature continues. They also gotta eat. So let's see where this one takes me. Alright. All I just need is Poplar MMOs and Jen. We have Ethos Lab, King Happy, False Symmetry, and King Daddy DMAC. I don't know who that is, but I guess it's reference to a reference. And what is this over here? So this is like it's like this whole biome here, the snow desert, is quite huge. Okay, so we have okay, that's not good. What is going on here? This is why I don't care for the dire wolves. It's kind of like, look at him. B double is just thinking about like, he's like he's gonna fight them, but at the same time, he's just gonna get jumped by like 3 of those other dire wolves. It's just insane. All I just need is to see Pat and Jen like one more time so I can just bring him back. But the reality is, I don't think they're gonna come back. Cody Maverick and Joe Buzz. Can you guys tell me where Pat and Jen are located? Can you tell me where Pat and Jen are? I mean, I've been looking for them for like the past 5,000 meters. Where are they located so you can tell me? And I could probably just take the nearest mountain so I can just find them. Any answers? Any questions? Any answers? Like, are you going to tell me where they are or you just don't know? Oh well, at least you tried, but thanks anyway. I'm going to go on my journey to look for them. I guess they just don't know. Which is entirely fine, so they just spawned in and they just exist. Another It's Jerry and Harry. All I just need is Pat and Jen. If I can't find Pat and Jen, then I'm just gonna have to save up my hearts to spawn them in another day. Or another time. Persimmon. I know persimmon's like a mixture of, I guess, like an orange and a grapefruit or something else. I'm not sure if it's Tangelos. I think what I learned what a tangelo was when I used to watch The Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I think that was the funniest part when they mentioned about tangelos, that repels clowns away. It's funny, but it's very absurd. Like, I'm pretty sure the writers know what they were doing. Dead forest. It's a dead forest, alright. But it's thriving in a dead forest. Okay, are you a good villager or are you just a very aggressive one? Oh, you're a tinkerer. Interesting. So, 8 pieces of gold for 1 emerald. No, thank you. But thanks for the offer. Okay. It's Jerry and Harry. So it seems like I'm starting seeing a lot of It's Jerry and Harry around here, but I don't see Poplar MMO or Super Girly Gamer. I don't see none of those two. It's currently 12:20 a.m. in the morning. I've been recording for about an hour and 10 minutes. And I still haven't found Poplar MMO yet. Or Jen. Or Bombi. Because it feels like I had to find one of those arena structures, in which I think those are pretty rare to find. Unless I have to spend around walking because on my list it's mostly just gold, um, lassos, and YouTubers. So I would just say it's an acquirable goal that it's not too serious, but it's something. And who are you guys? The H bomb and cyanide epic. Hmm. But it seems like it really does spark curiosity though, as in wanting to know like what did they made originally? Because if they're like the original content creators, I think their content might trigger a memory. Maybe I might have came across one of their videos and I probably accidentally clicked it and watched for like a second or something. And I just watched Papa Remo because he was just reviewing mods and it just looked pretty cool. But I did have a feeling that I used to watch um I think Atlantic Craft. I think it was like Joe Buzz and Cody Maverick, the penguin and the chicken. I'll say those two. I think I used to watch them as well, but I think I slowly moved away from them because I'm not sure if they didn't upload any more mods afterwards until Pablo Memos just kind of came in. And then when Pablo Memos kind of just did what he had to do, then I think Jen came into picture. And then I think when Jen came around, it just made the dynamic even more interesting because it's like I would say their energy just kind of just bounce off each other. Like it's just very flexible in a sense. But now that Pat and Jen kind of just have their own lives in real life because they had to deal with adult things, which I'm pretty sure some people might have already understood like why they're not together because again, they have their own problems, like adult problems, and they have to just handle it. They might have said that they're going to be doing whatever, or in cases, I would say on I would say on the surface, it might have been just like they have accepted it, but I would say in reality, it's probably a lot deeper than that. Maybe maybe Jen really loved Pat, and Pat really loved Jen. It's just that maybe they were just not ready, or he wasn't ready for the responsibility. I would say it's completely human because it's like he's not ready for it because he's like, how am I gonna say it? I would say he just has so much to live for it. He doesn't want to be like uh I guess like strapped to like responsibility and having to take care of another life while he's still continuing to live his life. But I think one time he did say he had so much money that he wished he could work at a real store instead of just sitting home and making videos on the internet. I find that quite relatable since popularity can do that, where even just trying to work at a store is fine, but what happens is you can work at a store until your face gets there and then people know that you work there and they only just gonna come there just to see you and so forth. It's kind of like one of those things. Kind of reminds me of like Michael Jackson, where he wanted to go into a store, but he couldn't because people were just outside waiting for him. So he has to dress up as like somebody else, or they had to lock down the store so he can actually go and shop for just regular necessities because he's trying to live a life as a person, but yet society just wants to, you know, want to keep taking his space away because when he was younger, he didn't really have time to grow up. He was just forced into performance. He loves music, but he couldn't get the rest or even have the chance to be a kid. And then that's how drama starts with him too. So I would just say we live in a very small world. That's all I can say. A very small world, but a beautiful, beautiful small world. We just take things for granted. Like, say hypothetically, I do become famous or whatever. I could say, yeah, it's just a status, but it doesn't change me as a person. I just know that all I did was just be myself. And even if I do have the wealth and the spotlight on me, it wouldn't change for who I really am because I'm still going to be myself. Even if you try to put a dollar sign on me, I'm not going to sell myself out. Because being myself is a lot easier than performing. And we also have real Think Noodles. So we do have Think Noodle here. I'm not sure if I want to pick up Think Noodle because I'm not really coming across Pat and Jen like at all. Like that's kind of like the unfortunate part. And I'm not sure how far I am from the home. I'm like 6,000 meters away. And that is it tells me a lot that we have traveled very far into this exploration just to look for particular particular childhood I would say particular childhood people that I looked up to when I was young. Because Pablo MMO and Jen actually got me into mods. I would say Pat got me into mods. Jen kind of just showed more of the fun side of modding when you have friends and actually have a good time. Because having a good time is very great. Because I'm not sure if these type of structures is the ones where Pat and Jen actually live in. Because I do see this, and I'm not sure if that's like a fansion or something. Because if it's like a structure like that, that means that's a fansion. And I know Pat and Jen mostly do fansions. Because a fansion is an area where you kind of just honor your fans, whatever they, I guess, type a particular name, or it's like it's like a shout out, kind of like that. I mean, I try to do shout outs on my channel, but I just only do it if it's intentional, not like doing it every second just to make it seem like it's noisy. Because I don't know if they actually live on that island. Because it makes me feel like they do, since there is like a fansion nearby. And I know Pat is known for that. Are they in there? Let me see. Yes, they're in here. Yes, I finally found them because they're the only people that can come up with a fansion. There we go. We found them. After hours. Yes, we found them. I take Jen, and we have Pablo MMOs. There we go. Bombi, I really want to see how strong you are. I know, man, but don't worry. You're in another location, but I had to try you. Okay, you don't fight back? Okay. Okay, so Bombi doesn't really do anything. I know, but I'd rather kill that one off so the other one can live. So we have finally retrieved the crew. So now we have, let me sort this out. So we have Tobuscus, Exploding TNT, Mr. Craner, Dr. Triaris, Super Girly Gamer, It's Harry, Stampy Lognose, Dan TDM, Fierce Destroyer, Pat, It's Jerry, Mr. Mumble, Grim, and that's it. I know we can get some more, but we got to make some more lassos, and I might go out and do that another time. So let me just go back to my home, and we're gonna put them in the chest because they are safe. And I think I can also remove the graves if I want to, because since they're going to be alive. But I would say the only graves, I would say that's going to be, you know what, I might just put that one down just in case if something happens. Yeah, I think I might do that. I'm really hungry in game. But now that we have these guys, where's my clipboard? We have found that, made more golden lassos, we did that. Now, last but not least, is to harvest some more gold. That's kind of like the only thing that I can do now. Since I'm not going to be doing any crazy, insane, grindy session, we're just going to just exist in the moment. Because it's easy to just be yourself and just let the game do the speaking or do the talking. So let me just put the branch back in here. Filing cabinet, sand. Okay. Okay, there is a creeper dying. Sirigo cactus. I might put this in the nether. I really want to try the sand, but I might do it at another time or probably make a room specifically for it. I know polyethylene. I've been gone for a while. I've been looking for the YouTubers around here. And it's a pretty sweet experience just to find a few of them around. And finally feel happy to see Pat again. And Jen. Alright, let me check the chest for food. Baked ham. That's the raw ocelot meat. I know this is supposed to be God feed. That's really his food because he got killed by the steam. I mean, I think that's the reason why the laboratory is very dangerous for any pets to be just roaming around loosely. Because I really want to ensure safety. So this is going to make me move pipes into more safer areas instead of just being exposed out. And mobs can just walk over it and forget all about the dangers behind it. Alright, so I know we have like a lot of these coke ovens. Because it's like one of the only ways to get fuel around here. We just, okay. So we gotta remove all these. I'll say the creosote does take like a long time to produce. But we having a lot of cactus though. So I could just put that in there and maybe do something with this. I don't know. But I'm trying to see why this tank isn't filling up as fast. Maybe because it's probably taking a long time and the fluids are just, I would say it's timely. It's very timely and it's probably based on distance. My head's a little bit itchy. So we have put that in there. No. Okay. I don't want that gas to blow nothing up because seriously, it sounds awfully close. Okay. I'm really just doing this just to not break anything, just to keep everything intact because I've worked way too hard for all of this. I mean, backing up my world is... Look at that. I'm really just trying. I'm not sure if it's like, is he hiding like up there, staring down at me? Sometimes this can be quite scary. Just hide that. Like, this is all I can do just to keep it nice and safe. now that we've prevent our pour from being exploded, now I'm going to put the diamonds into these boilers to continue their process of boiling. Put that in there, put that in there. More coke oven bricks. So, last but not least is the gold. I think once we do the gold, then that's it. Unless I want to move all the gold elsewhere and then get it all smelted. I don't think I gotta use the macerator for it, since if I use the macerator, then I'll get more, but I probably really still want to fill out the areas. I mean, that's just me. So the last part is definitely just getting gold. Honestly, this one might be the simplest thing to do. Just go to one of the chunks. We're like very close to a gold ore anyway. Or gold vein ore. Okay. Not sure if this is too deep down here, because I think gold is like, I'm seeing small portions of it. But I'm pretty sure it's not that deep down there. Might have go to the neighboring one. But honestly, I would just say it's been the longest time I've actually been playing GregTech, though. Like, this is like, if I can try to be honest or be transparent here, I've basically took a break from this for like 1 or 2 weeks. Like, that's how long the break was. Some people may not believe me, but that's what I actually did. Can't sugarcoat it. I think for a stack of gold, kind of feels unrealistic, since what does raw magnetite turn into? Okay, you macerate it, gold dust. Okay, magnetite dust, magnetite, macerator. So it kind of does turn to iron. Then when you wash it, it's purified. So I think it's still iron. It's still a form of iron. So I'm technically still mining more iron than just getting gold. Quite interesting how this mod pack kind of just says you try to mine these chunks together, you'll still come across iron reserves. It's quite interesting. I think eventually I might have to try to make the auto miner. Okay. Whoa, okay. Ow. That was a poison skeleton. I might just see if I can try to at least get like a stack of gold at least. It does sound like a little bit of a shortcut that I'm doing, but I'm just going to say I might just stop for the sake of my mental health, because I can play for long periods of time, but when you have allergies and then you take allergy pills, it does play with your mind psychologically. And I still have to just relax and just enjoy the experience, because the experience isn't about trying to beat the game. The experience is about experiencing the struggles within the game itself, or the progresses within it, like the trials and errors. Most people think I'm trying to beat the game. I'm not here to beat it, I'm here to explore it. But it really does feel like I want to watch Saturn again, just to look at those rings. But if you ever want to know what Mercury looks like, Mercury is like really just a small rock. But if you have not seen it in your life, I'm just going to say this. You're just going to have to either look during the times where it's like sitting low towards the horizon, or you might have to go to like a nearby observatory or a laboratory if you even have one nearby. Just go there, and then they'll probably just let you use their telescopes, and you could probably look at a few planets. But I know their telescopes are probably more automated, where it tracks certain planets' movements without you actually having to like manually adjust it just to find it specifically. Like for me, I had to use my own mental intuition and my own tracking just to find it. Like sometimes it's like if you use different magnifications, it can sometimes make it a lot harder just to keep the sight on the planet, because sometimes you might say breathe too hard, or you might just lightly tap the telescope and it just shifts to a different quadrant in the sky. It's sort of like those type of struggles, and I probably know that many people probably went through that many times, but it's all part of the experience. Okay, there's still a dark cave in here. I'm just going to light it up so nothing spawns in to kill me. But let me just go ahead and just mine this very final area here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and maybe get it processed, or just put it in the steam oven just for it to turn into ingots. Since I might be able to just keep doing this over and just find some more gold chunks somewhere and just keep rinse and repeat. It's probably the only real thing I could do, since grinding for ores is not something easy. Like, you could do this manually, but it can be time consuming. And again, I don't have to worry about rushing to anything. So now that we have a chunk of gold, I'm just going to go ahead and get out of here. So let me just check up, and of course it's dark outside. So let me just pull out my sleeping bag for the very last time. All right, now let's return to the surface. And then I'm just going to mark on my clipboard that we have... Sorry. I'm I'm trying to click it. Let me see. We have harvested gold, so we did whatever we could today. That is tangible, and it's all based on my return back to GregTech after like some weeks. Okay, there's a lot of creepers everywhere. They're all trying to throw a surprise party after a long time. This is getting okay. Like, all I just did was just came out of the mines or out of the ground, and creepers are just sitting there just waiting for me to die. Like, this is what I'm talking about. You gotta deal with this all the time. And you gotta be quick about it, too. But luckily, I did slay as fast as I can. Because those guys are just chaotic. Alright, so now I've done that, I'm going to put the gold in there and put it and get it all processed. So let me just slap a whole stack in there. Alright, magnetite. There we go. Alright, so it's going to turn into gold. Might just also put this impure form of gold dust in here. There we go. Yep. So when you look in here, you get iron and gold. So yeah, I think that is going to wrap up for the playthrough of GregTech New Horizons for playthrough number 38. And I mean, I've been trying to keep up with the playthrough numbers, but it's just going to be a lot over time. And it's going to be a lot harder to manage. Because when you play for long periods, you kind of just lose track of it, and then numbers just start to not matter. And I don't have to keep saying episode numbers, because reality, the longer I play, the longer I just start to not care about the numbering or the labeling. I mean, I still have the book to still write down my mental notes, but sometimes I tend to forget to write something down, unless I really want to write something down that's meaningful, you know, to that part. And I think for the mental book, I mean, I don't probably have to write down for every playthrough. I think I could just write down whatever is on my mind for that particular playthrough, and then just continue. And then if I have something that's thoughtful, then I can just keep it updated. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this playthrough, and if you do, then I'm very grateful. And polyethylene, I have did everything on that clipboard, and I have actually recorded for an hour and 38 minutes and almost going to an hour and 40 minutes. So let me just go ahead and let me process this moment, just because I have done a lot and even found popular MMOs in Gen again. So yeah, but until then, I'll see you guys back here in my laboratory and continue with the GregTech New Horizons experience.